I'll go ahead and open the agenda for February 4th, 2015, Oceanside City Council, Hardwick CDC. Roll call, please.
Mayor Wood?
Here.
Deputy Mayor Lowry?
Here.
Councilmember Feller?
Here.
Councilmember Krantz?
Here.
And it appears that Ms. Sanchez is late.
Thank you very much. With that, Mr. City Attorney.
Thank you. There will be no meeting on item 1. Item 2, conference with real estate negotiator involving the unimproved portion of Rancho Del Oro Drive right-of-way north of State Route 78, south of Vista Way. Negotiating parties, City of Oceanside and VGT Media. Under negotiations are price and terms for the use of the real property. Item 3A, conference of legal counsel involving 2 cases, San Diegans for Open Government and Dunex, Inc., Cavalier Mobile Estates v. City of Oceanside.
Adjourn to closed session. Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. I'll go ahead and open this Oceanside agenda for February 4th, 2015, Oceanside City Council, Harbor District, CDC. And if we could, a roll call, please.
Mayor Wood.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Lowry.
Here.
Councilmember Feller.
Here.
Councilmember Sanchez.
Here.
Councilmember Kern.
Here.
Right off the bat, I'm going to start off interesting. Could we do the closed session report with the city attorney, please?
Thank you. City Council met in closed session to discuss items 2A and 3A. There was no meeting on item 1. On item 2, the city met with regard to the real property that is located, the right-of-way that is located Rancho Del Oro, north of State Route 78, south of Vista Way. Negotiating parties, City of Oceanside and BGT Media LLC. Negotiator for the city, Doug Edow. Under negotiations of price and terms for the use of the real property. Council did get direction on that item, but there's no reportable action at this time. Item 3, Conference of Legal Counsel on existing litigation in the matters of San Diegans for open government. Council did meet on that. There's no action to report. And item 3AB, Dunnex Inc., Cavalier Mobile Estates versus City of Oceanside. Again, council met, gave direction, but there's no reportable action at this time.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that. And for Mr. Clerk, for your information, item number 8. Make sure I got the right one. Excuse me. No, I don't. I'll get right back to you. Item number 10. Item number 10 is going to be continued with that item to a later date, probably the 18th. If you'll pull that and let the public know later on. Thank you very much. And with that, we'll go with the consent calendar, please.
Yes, consent calendar items 4 through 8.
Move approval.
Do we have any public?
No public comment.
Thank you. Go ahead, Deputy Mayor. You'd like to pull item number 8?
Yeah.
For the contract, so, was there a motion for the remainder, please, and a second?
I made the motion.
Would you go to second?
I'll second. Thank you, make it quicker.
I would do it all at once.
Okay, so please vote on items remaining, please. Thank you.
Motion approved, 5-0.
Thank you. Then Deputy Mayor, you pull item 8, please.
Yes.
Item 8 is about a grant that we are receiving for the police department to use. I've got a couple of questions for the chief. Thank you. I see that we have a number of different grants that we receive annually in the city, and I'm wondering if that some of them are restricted and some are more general as far as monies are concerned. Is this grant we're receiving tonight restricted or?
Honorable Mayor, council members, Deputy Mayor Lowry, this particular grant is a grant that we receive on a yearly basis from the state of California, and it is pretty liberal as to what we can use the money for, obviously with your approval.
Okay. Can we use some of that money to increase our sobriety awareness education within the community? Like, I'm thinking for retail employee training and for businesses and for individuals. Is that possible? Do we have anything in place?
I would recommend that money, that we look at that through our Office of Traffic Safety grant, who with that money is alcohol related type issues such as DUI checkpoints. It would fit in that grant.
Okay. So then this money is sort of planned to go somewhere else?
As you see the items that are listed, we every year we use $103,000 of that money towards a school resource officer, and then the other monies we allocate to other items that are needed throughout the department. In addition to the Office of Traffic Safety, we also applied for the ABC grant, Alcohol Beverage Control Grant, that if we were granted that type of a grant, we could utilize those funds for that purpose as well.
Okay. I'm most concerned about alcohol-related incidents that happen in Oceanside, like the couple of things we had down here at the Firewater place and the stabbing that took place recently in South Oceanside. So my intent is just to hope that we can put more work into education and enforcement, not necessarily in mostly education for prevention of alcohol-related issues. So I move that we approve this, but I'd like to see that added for the future.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
You're making a motion for the...
Yeah, I'd like to move approval of.
Okay, I'm going to second the motion for approval. Am I, Mr. Mayor? Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, every year we do get funding for the police department. It's very, it's a great opportunity for the police department to be able to apply for grants and be able to receive them, especially since we have very specific needs. Some that are ongoing every year, and I appreciate, Chief, that you actually outlined this, where you would like to see them go in your staff report. I do believe that there are other opportunities for sobriety-related issues in the community, even with respect to some of our partners that are involved in those kind of issues. So I think, to encourage us to, say, partner with them and have them apply for funds is another way to go. So, but I just want to take this moment to thank the department, thank the chief, and all the police officers for the work that they do on the streets. I know there's some things that are you just can't stop every single crime from happening, but what we can do is act quickly, bring those individuals responsible to justice quickly, and make sure that the community feels safe, and that's what I believe our department does. So thank you very much.
Councilwoman Sanchez, thank you very much. And I'm sure you folks are aware, we did have a 9.6% reduction in crime last year compared to 2013, and over a 30% reduction in gang crimes in the city. So our police officers are out there working hard, doing a great job for us. Thank you.
Councilman, kind of...
Well, not too much, but to tag on to what the deputy mayor said, the idea is when we... Don't go away. When we apply for these grants, you give them a list of things that you want this grant for, and you have to report back how you spent the money, right? So the idea that there's a follow-up, and I think we've talked about this before, competitive, non-competitive grants. Non-competitive grants, if you check all the boxes, you get the grant, and then the competitive ones are ones that you're asking money for, that you're in competition with other cities. So these COPS grants, are they generally non-competitive? You just have to give a list of these. I know it's a pretty detailed list.
The COPS grant is based on population, and it's a non-competitive grant that's given out through the state of California.
But then when you get the grant, though, do you have to give this detailed list to them that this is what we're going to use your money for, or use the money for?
The way this works, sir, is we're allocated a certain amount of money. Through that money, we determine what we would like to spend the money on within the guidelines of the grant. Once we do that, then we come before this body for approval.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Feller, please.
Thank you. I'm just want to point out where this money comes from. Where do you get this money? The grant money, where does it come from?
It comes from the taxpayers of the state of California.
So they're giving us back our money, and we're feeling good about it. Never mind.
Is that all? Thank you, Chief. I appreciate it, too. With that, ladies and gentlemen, please vote.
Motion approved 5-0.
Thank you very much. And if we can, jump to item number 9, Mr. Clerk.
Yes, item number 9 is introduction of an ordinance adding section 30B to the city code regulating the use of public recreational property for commercial and professional instruction.
Thank you. Mr. Weiss, thank you.
Good afternoon, Mayor and council members. If you recall, several months ago, we had a discussion in regards to the types of activities that were occurring in the city's parks and beaches, and you gave some direction for staff to put together an ordinance that would regulate those activities and at least provide us the opportunity to review any commercial use of public property and ensure that they are consistent with what we feel is appropriate, and also that they have appropriate insurance requirements. What you have before you is the culmination of a lot of staff effort that includes a lot of departments looking at this from a variety of perspectives. And so what we're proposing to you is that any commercial activity that occurs on public property, and it's not just the beach or the amphitheater, it includes our parks as well, they be required to, one, obtain a business license, and then two, obtain a special operations permit. Keep in mind that this is separate and apart from the various permits that we currently have, one which is issued through Main Street, which includes all the vendors along the Strand, and then also separate special event permits. They would not be included in this process at all at this point. As it relates to the beach, we are aware of, we put in your staff report, there are several deeds that have been recorded that conveyed portions of the beach property to the city. The permit does have a provision in it that any proposed activity that is inconsistent with the deed requirements could be denied based on that evaluation. The current proposal is that we would allow 5 surf camps to participate in the process. 2 of those which would be sponsored by the city. So one of the surf camps has historically been on Tyson Park, one by the pier, one just by the Junior Seau Community Center, which is a city-sponsored, and then 2 in Harbor Beach. One of those is a city-sponsored one as well. Those surf camps will be able to permitted on a first-come, first-served basis. I suspect most of those surf camps, the other 3, already know what's coming, and will be coming in for those permits if should you introduce and then ultimately adopt this ordinance. In addition to that, there will be the ongoing ability for private surf construction to occur. Those occur essentially as a home-based business, and they just use the water. We will be evaluating those just to make sure that there's a coordinated effort so that there's not going to be conflicts in location where the different activities will be occurring. This does not in any way regulate any special events. Those have their own process, so surf contests or special events, beach soccer have their own process. What we are going to be doing with the various permits is ensuring that any other groups that are out there, if they want to come in and use any of our facilities, are not going to conflict with graduation in the amphitheater or other activities that may be occurring. We're going to use this first season as a test basis to see how well this works. Staff is going to be making sure that as we go through the summer season that we document any issues, concerns, or changes that we will need to make. And our goal is to, after the end of the summer, reconvene as a staff and then provide you an update as to what we feel worked well, it didn't work well, and any changes we may need to make. So with that, I think we've addressed most of the concerns that you had raised before. We would ask that you go ahead and introduce the ordinance at this point.
Thank you, Peter. Have a seat at sidewalk for 5 minutes to take notes for any questions that come up from the audience. We'd appreciate that. And Mr. Clerk?
Yes, at this time, Denny Cooper may come forward.
Good evening, everybody who's going to speak. Thank you for being here.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Thank you so much for allowing me to speak. My name is Denny Cooper. I have owned or been the general manager of Surf Camps USA for 20 years, of which 12 of those years we have operated in Oceanside, either at Tyson Street or at the harbor. I'm also an educator of 28 years and also the chaplain for Carlsbad Fire and Police Departments. I'm here today to say that I admire and support your need to regulate the camps and classes that are using the public spaces. I do, however, believe that the permit process should be based on merit and not on a first-come basis. We would also like to request that there be 2 surf camps allowed along with the junior lifeguard program at the Harbor Beach, as we have done over the last 3 or 4 years. We, the people of the city, want quality programs that support our community members and have shown a track record of being safe and supportive to our community. Surf Camps USA and SoCal Surf Camp School have a perfect safety record for the 20 years that we have been in business. We are a member of the Oceanside Chamber of Commerce as a business that serves to improve the community and help children and the less fortunate. We award approximately 20 scholarships to local schools. We also donate proceeds to a handful of charities like St. Jude's and Voices for Children that help children in the community, including having the Casa de Amparo children come to the camp for free and the Boys and Girls Club come at no profit to us. Locals and our customer families know our presence discourages the negative element so often associated with Oceanside, and the lifeguards and beachgoers know that we are additional eyes on the beach and in the water, maintaining a safe environment for the ocean and beachgoers because of our staff. All of our staff are Red Cross, CPR, and First Aid certified and undergo 2 annual trainings each year. So we also pick up trash daily, and we always leave the beach better than it was before. Surf Camps USA draws over 400 local area families that would normally frequent other beaches to the Oceanside economy. Our tourism-based surf school draws national and international travelers to the area who ask us where to stay in Oceanside and where to eat. That is why we have worked with the OTC and visit Oceanside staff to host journalists and to put packages together with hotels to draw more tourism. Our staff parking permits and our mom parking citations, our camp mom parking citations alone could probably pay for a city salary or 2. Surf Camps USA has met and exceeded current safety requirements. We are insured and indemnify the city of Oceanside in our insurance and all our waivers. Surf Camps USA has a great reputation because of our low 3-to-1 ratio we maintain, and we keep our overall class size manageable by having 2 sessions a day. Our commitment and service to the community and our reputation set us apart. Just ask around. We are passionate about what we do and serving our community. Thank you for your time, and once again, I hope that you will consider the permit process to be by merit and the community service, and also to consider keeping the 2 surf camps at the harbor. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, Mr. Mayor, through you.
Please, go right ahead.
I didn't catch where you reside, sir.
I'm sorry, I reside at 2104 Linda Lane in Carlsbad.
Thank you.
Next, we have Shelley Carell.
Thank you, Zach.
Can you hear me? Oh, good.
Can do.
All right. Well, I had a lot of opportunity to speak with Mr. Rice and other staff members about this ordinance, and I'm happy to say that I can approve the Chapter 30B being added to the code. It does address the issues of the deed restrictions, which I was greatly concerned about. So, having said this, I'm glad that there'll be some police powers to enforce these restrictions. That's basically what I wanted to say. So thank you.
Thank you. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Corona and her family has given us most of the beach in Oceanside over the years, so she is certainly a part of Oceanside, and her family was. So, Shelley, I'm glad you gave us input regarding the deed restrictions, et cetera. Thank you very much for being here. With that,
No further public comments?
no further comments. Thank you very much. Back to the council per se. I have no light.
Sorry, Mayor Wood. One came here when I was up in...
Is it for camera?
It's for Karen.
No way.
Jim, I thought my light was on.
Now it is.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. Hope everybody's having a great day. Claire, I'm so glad this is finally coming because it just seems like all the other cities that have put clamps down on the surf camps, they've all migrated to Oceanside. So it's good to have some direction for the public. Maybe if you could clarify for Denny. Jenny, by the way, I can vouch for him. He's one of our coaches for Carlsbad High School surf team, and he runs a great program. So if you could clarify whether it says 2 surf camps, one at South Jetty, one at North Jetty, but that doesn't include lifeguard program, correct? If you could just clarify that. Peter?
I don't know if you
So that would be one at South Jetty, one at North Jetty, in addition to lifeguards?
The way it's currently written, it would, one of those 2 includes the junior lifeguard program. So there would be the junior lifeguards plus one other surf camp in Harbor Beach.
But isn't junior guards not a surf camp, it's lifeguard training?
It's an activity on the beach. That was the intent. And just talking with Mr. Curtis, he's okay with having a 3rd one in Harbor Beach. I believe it would replace the one at Tyson Street, ultimately. So
just lifeguards would be considered one camp and this one additional camp then, whether it be South or North Jetty?
correct.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
No further public comment.
Thank you very much. Before, you had any comments, Mr. Weiss, on any of the questions or comments?
Just to clarify, in talking with Bill Curtis, he's fine with having the additional one in Harbor Beach.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Back to council. Councilmember Sanchez, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I really appreciate the staff has been working on this and meeting with the community members here. This is something that was brought to my attention, and I had, over the years, started to see an increase of use with what seemingly seemed to be commercial activity on our beach. And especially understanding that other cities, including Encinitas, and maybe perhaps especially Encinitas, had previously gone ahead and put together a program to try to regulate the use on their beach. And last year, especially, the outcome was that we in Oceanside ended up having several of these on our beaches from outside our city. So I did get a chance to meet with several members of the community. I also had a chance to meet with Shelley Crone regarding the haze restrictions, speed restrictions. These were properties, and not just the haze, but also the Walker, and the other portions that were given to the city for the use of the public. I've had a chance to meet with several people, and hopefully most of those that would be interested in the outcome here, and had a chance to talk with staff regarding my concerns and ensuring that what we're going to have is a more of a primarily first public use, public access, and then to ensure that there is equal opportunity for others to be able to use, our facilities. And it's not the Sandy Beach we're talking about. Sandy Beach, no commercial activity. We're talking about the bandshell area, that kind of, and our public parks. So having said all that, I believe this is a really good step. Perhaps this may be tweaked later on if, I'm hoping that in fact this does it for us. But if not, I'm hoping to hear, get feedback from, our community partners, from the community, because the bottom line is these are meant for the public, these areas, public, and secondly, it's meant to ensure public recreation. So having said all that, I move that we introduce the ordinance with the change that has been recommended by Mr. Weiss, and including one more lifeguard training camp.
Thank you very much. I'll second that. But Mr. City Attorney, please, you have the light.
I don't think the number is actually in the ordinance, so we don't need to amend the ordinance to include that. It's more how staff's intending to implement it.
Okay, that's in the staff report.
I'll second it anyhow, but Councilmember Kern, please. I'm sorry.
Thank you. The one question that cleared up about the 2+1, but it was mentioned about the process of application. First come, first serve, or merit. Have we thought that through, how we're going to do that? Is that something that, who handles that, Parks and Rec or Beach Service?
Well, the process will be initiated through business license. We had a brief discussion about that. Unfortunately, because it's a commercial use, we don't have the ability to rank one business over the other. I suspect that since Surf Camp USA is here, I suspect they'll be able to turn an application in fairly quickly, and so we'll
be sitting right over there if you want to.
I will go hand him one after this item is over.
Okay. All right. I just want to make sure that it's cleared up. I agree with Councilmember Sanchez. It has to be a fair and open process for people to use this, since we are restricting the number. So the idea that every year grandfathering people in, it kind of shuts people out. So I think after the first year, we're going to have to evaluate how the process works, and then, then we'll go forward. So I just want to get that cleared up, because it was mentioned about the first come, first serve versus merit. So, and we're asking for all those things that he mentioned, the insurance, those types of things that protect the public. So, thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Feller, please.
Thank you. I was reading early here, it says operations permit would provide staff an opportunity to review the commercial operators. You know, I would only suggest that when when staff is reviewing these commercial operators that may or may not be out there at this time of the year, to keep in mind how we can help them. I mean, I'm not in favor of more regulations for sure, but how we can help them. And, you know, frankly, I only saw one email about, I think maybe Mr. Mullen sent it regarding the beach being deeded to the city of Oceanside. And there was some content there, but I haven't heard from anybody about the so-called 15 or 20 that this will impact. So, you know, I think we have to tread pretty lightly as we go forward because, you know, yes, it slows me down a little bit when I'm watching people crawl up a hill backwards, you know, sea gaze crawl up the hill backwards. And, you know, I don't want to run over them, but I want them to get exercise. I don't want them to end up like me. So, anyway, just how can we help them? That's what I want to say. Thank you.
Thank you. I want to comment on it. Real quick, does Carlsbad have a permit ordinance in their city for beach and surf camps? Do you know?
Because it's a state beach, the city of Carlsbad does not, but the state does regulate activities on the state beach.
Yeah, on the state beach. The rest of it doesn't. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. With that, Mr. City Attorney.
This is the introduction of an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Oceanside adding Chapter 30B of the Oceanside City Code to regulate the use of public recreational property for commercial and professional instruction.
Thank you. Please vote.
Motion approved, 5-0.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
Appreciate the comments. Let's go to item 19 for the City Attorney, please.
Item 19 is the adoption of an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Oceanside, California, levying special tax within the City of Oceanside Community Facility District 2014-1 Open Space and Habitat Management, El Camino Executive Center.
Thank you very much. Councilman Sanchez.
Move adoption, please.
Thank you very much. Please vote.
Motion approved, 5-0.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Short agenda, but let's see here. Okay. Let's go with the City Council reports, if we may.
Mayor Wood.
Thank you, Betsy, ladies and gentlemen. The other thing I really want to address and approach you on is that I went to a Sandag retreat. I'm now on the executive committee for the San Diego government. So it was interesting in the retreat. The issues coming up for you in the future for Sandag, this is the organization that really sponsors the entire county regarding roads, mass transit, et cetera, where the money comes from. They're trying to talk about getting an increase in transnet taxes by a small percentage to bring up some quality of life issues and roadways, et cetera, and bring them up 10 years further towards us than waiting 10 years on some of these important roadways, et cetera. That was the big comments at the Sandag retreat. Does the public basically want to give a little bit more of the half-cent sales tax line to bring up some of these prime quality of life issues and roadway issues that you all get stuck in every day? So that was the main comment. I wanted to give you a heads up that that's something they're looking at to try to come back to the public on. Think about it. If you have a chance to give a little bit more to Transnet sales tax, which is only 1/2 of 1 cent, to get some of these roadways fixed up and us moving in the county, would it be worth it in your minds? I get tired of being stuck from Oceanside to San Diego weekdays, let alone Saturdays and Sundays. Some of those things would be addressed in those, along with other issues. So that's what we mainly talked about, and nothing more than that going into details. But it's surely an issue for me and you later on if it becomes an issue on the ballot to vote on it. You want all these things improved sooner than later if you want to pay an extra amount to get it here. That's all I have for right now, and I thank you for that.
Deputy Mayor Lowry.
Well, I had some fun in the last 10 days. I went to the open house celebration at the Libby Lake Center, and that was for the Adelante bookmobile. It's funny, it was their first anniversary, but it's the 12th year it's been in operation, so I didn't ask any questions. And a lot of families apparently use the mobile library. They can't get out of their neighborhood, so the kids come over sometimes with their parents. It was very nice to walk through it with city staff and get an idea. And I saw some books I'd like to read, but I had to use the ones with the large print, and I didn't check any of those out. But I do have a library card. It's really convenient. I also went to the LGBTQ North County Resource Center State of the City celebration. That was last weekend, and it was in the community rooms here. And that was packed with people. Actually, all the seats were filled, and there was officials standing around. And the most exciting thing was that Oceanside now has official liaisons with that community. So we have a Marjorie Pierce from the City of Oceanside staff, and we have a firefighter and a police officer. So all three of them act as liaisons, so we can be sure that this element, this part of our community is included in official and non-official awareness. And that was really exciting to hear the stories that people told about how they were dealing with their children, and it's a very encouraging event, and I really enjoyed going. And that's pretty much all I did. Thank you.
Councilman Feller.
Thank you. We had a community breakfast with Tim Moran out at Tri-City Hospital, and they are, I think they're on the move. They're on the right track, and I think we are fortunate to have a board over there that's really committed to moving forward with that hospital and thinking way outside the box. Did attend the Honor Bowl meeting for this coming year. The Honor Bowl is, I think it's on the 4th of September, 4th and 5th. They're excited. They're pleased with everything that's gone on. The police department was there in force, and they didn't have any issues with it. So I'm looking forward to it. It's quite a tourism attraction because it's bringing teams from all over the state. Attended the Chamber Meet the City event at Paradise Falls, and boy, have they fixed that place up. The last time I was out there, they had a dirt parking lot, and everything's paved. They just did a terrific job, and it was great to meet people that are doing business in the city, and I'm very pleased with what they have out there. I did have a meeting with directors Jonathan and Joanne from the Arts Commission, and they are working on their work plan, but they also want to figure a way to somehow increase what the arts are doing as an economic driver for this city, and so they're focused on that, and I look forward to the work that they're doing as volunteers. Vance is having a ceremony or a fundraiser this the 5th, which is, what is today? 4th? That's tomorrow. and it's a concert. It should be, it's the first one, so it should be certainly interesting. I think that's about it. I was really sorry about Jerry Salyer, and maybe we can close in honor of Jerry tonight. He was we've lost a lot of people just in this last few weeks, and you know, Councilmember Sanchez, her father, just some tough time for everybody. So I would just ask for prayers for the city and if we could for Jerry. Thank you.
Councilmember Kern.
Thank you, Mr. Clark. I did attend the Bookmobile 1-year celebration. The explanation is that when the times got tough, we cut the Bookmobile back, and when we recovered, that's one of the things we restored. This council felt that it was important to restore that, so that was one of the first things we brought back when we had the money to do so. So that's why it's been there 12 years, that's a 1-year celebration. So hopefully we don't have to go through that one again. I did attend the Oceanside Police Department Awards ceremony. It was really a nice event out at QLN. The chief did a good job because he didn't speak as much as he normally does. He you know, one of the lieutenants actually was the MC of the show, and it was really well done. Really good food. It was real, but again, you know, when the chief speaks, it's the entertainment portion of the night, so I kind of missed that. So I appreciate that, but they did a lot of good work. I mean, the one thing that really impressed me was, and I can't remember which one it was, but there was one crime that the team that the chief brought up on stage, there must have been 30 people involved in how they brought everybody together to solve this problem. So I was quite impressed about how many people got involved to make things happen over at the Oceanside Police Department. And hopefully, you know, it'll probably continue. Went to the Marine Corps West dinner down in Carlsbad with the Lieutenant General, the one MEF commander, spoke and talked about the Marine Corps and what they're doing going forward. I did attend the chamber event with Councilmember Feller. I did have a community engagement panel meeting up in San Juan. We talked about long-term storage for the nuclear fuel at San Onofre. That is going to be the sticking issue over the next few months, of what we're going to do with the long-term storage of those fuel rods and the seismic issues that they have going forward, and sea level rise and saltwater intrusion, those type of things. That we're going to have more meetings, so I think we're trying to have our next meeting down here in Oceanside. So hopefully people will stay engaged and to find out what's going to happen in San Onofre, because whatever we do there is going to be there for probably 70 years. So that is a long-term problem that we're going to have to come up with a solution. I attended the meetings for the airport master plan, 2 meetings actually, one for the stakeholders and one for the general public. We were moving forward on that one. I did attend the state of the city for Vista. Mayor Ritter invited me over, I think along with Mayor Wood, and listening what's happening over there in the city of Vista. What was really encouraging was the speaker was the CEO of Jack in the Box, and how he felt the economy was going to go, because if everybody knows, you know, fast food is a very discretionary item, and he felt really comfortable going forward about how well the economy is going to do. So that was kind of heartening to hear that. And then tomorrow night, Councilmember Feller mentioned this, Dutch Association North County is having a jazz concert. It's a fundraiser to raise money for their honor guard. So I think I'm going to attend that one to help Vance out to get their honor guard in time. So hopefully anybody out there can do that. A couple other items. Next Tuesday, the Friends of the Oceanside Public Library is having Richard Lederer over at the Sunshine Brooks, along with an a cappella group to raise money for the library. And then I think it'll be after our next meeting, but don't forget the book sale is coming, and we need everybody to come to the book sale and buy as many books as possible so I don't have to carry them away afterwards. So I need all your help. So thank you.
Councilmember Sanchez.
Thank you. Well, first of all, I wanted to thank the community and also the council for the flowers for my dad's funeral. There were so many people that came out to support us, our family. Thank you, Jack. Thank you, Mayor, for coming. So many people, and it was just wonderful. People from the neighborhood, people that my dad had, seen throughout his life, and it was just very much appreciated. So, thank you. We have had another community person, however, pass away, Carmen Uriostegui, who worked with St. Mary's. I want to say it's probably been over 30 years. But this is a woman that I met when I was very young, because she and my mom worked together at the rubber factory up in San Clemente for about 25 years before it closed. And so Carmen Uriostegui was the head of the Latino section for the parish of St. Mary's. And as Father Mike said, she was known as Grandma. Everybody for her was mijo, mija. Everyone was, you met her and you actually became related to her. She did a lot for this community. One thing I didn't know is that she did a lot in working with the homeless. And she also had a stroke. She was in her 90s, very active still. And I think they were hoping that she would, conquer this, and she was not able to. But she did have her service. Hundreds of people turned out for it, and it was very nice to see a woman who did so much for the community and here in Oceanside get that kind of a sending off farewell and appreciation. And the last thing I would like to mention is that next Wednesday we're having a council workshop on priorities for the city council. It is at 11:30. I believe it's to go to 2 or 2:30. It's here at the council chambers. I hope that the community will come and share with us your thoughts. I am going to be asking Mr. Mayor if we could do something different for this workshop, and that is that we hear from the public first. The first at 11:30. And then go into our workshop. So I am hoping that, again, that the community feels welcome and comfortable to come, address the council, and stay as much as you can. You won't have, that's what I'm hoping you will consider, Mr. Mayor. And also, I have asked the mayor, because my dad passed, and somehow I didn't realize how much he was in my life, and how much the passing of a person that is in your life, how much time it takes to get back to a routine, including a lot of paperwork and all these other things. My parents did have an estate, a living trust, and so a lot of that was taken care of. Great. But understanding that when I asked to be on the Water Authority, that I had planned on spending a lot of time on that, and now some of that time is being taken by something that I have to do. I have asked the mayor to consider appointing Brian Boyle to the position, and that I can then work with Brian so that we will have someone there. He has been on it before, and he would be able to, jump in and start right away. So I've asked the mayor to consider that for the next time that we meet here as a council, and that would be next Wednesday. So that's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Some of the items we have on the agenda are time certain for 6 o'clock. So what I'm going to do right now is ask for a recess here, break until 6 o'clock, ladies and gentlemen. 6 o'clock. If you haven't been here before, out the doors, up the stairs, bathroom and water. Or if you're here from another school, you need a sign. If you got a sign, fine. Or you want to come up here and get a picture of your choice. Thank you very much. Recess.
Thank you for doing it, by the way.
chance to get a dog. A dog. I got a dog.
Get a dog that follows the rocks. Sorry. Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. For our second half of the city council meeting, we usually have 1 at 5 working. We change the hours, start again at 6 o'clock for the innovation and the Pledge of Allegiance. And for that, we'll start here in a second. But if I may, a couple of housekeeping. If you have a phone, pager, put it on silent or vibrate. We'd appreciate that. And from that, Debbie, would you take it from there, please?
Please stand for tonight's invocation and Pledge of Allegiance. The invocation tonight will be delivered by City Clerk Zach Beck, who is also the youth pastor for Gateway Community Church.
Everyone, please bow your heads. Father, we come before you to say thank you. Thank you for the privilege, the blessing, the honor it is to reside here in the city of Oceanside. We come together as a diverse community, a community of different backgrounds, different beliefs, different presents, and different futures, but one common goal, and that is the betterment of this community. We come here tonight to seek your guidance, wisdom, and discernment for the deliberations that are transpiring for the events that could occur in the city of Oceanside. Therefore, we lift up Councilmember Feller, Deputy Mayor Lowry, Mayor Wood, Councilmember Sanchez, and Councilmember Kern during the remainder of this evening. We lift up every member in this entire community that they would be continually finding their hope, peace, and strength and security in you. And we say all these things in your precious name. Amen.
Tonight's Pledge of Allegiance will be led by the following high school students. Please come forward when I call your name. Jamea Parks from Mission Vista High School. From Oceanside High School, Desiree Brown. Alexis Coleman. Amanda Dixon. Colleen Glasgow Kane. And from El Camino High School, Nicole Hanchin. And Jessica Hernandez.
Before I start, ladies, parents, you can move wherever you want to take pictures. I know why you're here. Who gets the mic for the pledge?
Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hold on. Either here, are you reading it out? Thank you, ladies, and I thank you very much for coming here and making the room look pretty. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Oh, one. You come up for more photos, or what do you want?
Just explain why the girls are here.
Okay, who's on the stage?
All right, thank you very much, Mayor. No, I know. So just to be clear, the young ladies that are here today are also performing in Black History Month and a performance at the Sunshine Brooks Theater, on February 21st, an evening of performance, walking through history, and they are our student scholar actors.
Don't forget that now. And Black History Month, ladies, let's face it, you're going to be representing the whole city, community, North County, and thank you for doing that. Sorry I didn't explain why you were here, but appreciate it very much. Have a good one.
Next we have the Pet of the Month, Elton Rose from the San Diego Humane Society. Please come forward.
He wants to go. He wants to go.
So this is Dexter. He is a 5-year-old poodle mix, and Dexter was found by a jogger, somebody who was about a mile away from the Humane Society, and he just picked him up and carried him all the way to the Humane Society, walked a mile with him in his arms, and he said he did fantastic, even though he was a stranger. He came to us a little messed up, so he had some cherry eye. I don't know if you know what that is, but they sometimes get little growths in their eyes, so we removed them, so it's like eyes are a little drippy right now, and he got cleaned up, so he's looking fantastic. He seems very social. You look fabulous too. He's very social, likes other dogs. He has some kennel mates. He has about 3 of them right now, so he's doing well with them. Seems very active and outgoing, so I think he'll make a great little dog for any type of family. His adoption fee is $95 right now, and he's available for adoption at our San Luis Rey location, but he also will be we're going to be at Legacy Brewing on Sunday, so if you're out and about and you want a little tasting, you can come meet him in person and support one of our good sponsors, Legacy Brewing. Also want to let everyone know that, we have our Great Spay and Neuter program, but in the month of March, the zip code of 92054 will be 50% off. They're already very low prices, so I think probably the maximum you'll pay is about $35 to $40 for a stay. So if you know anybody who's in need, who has a Chihuahua Pit Bull cat, or for those people who are taking care of feral cats out there, you can take advantage of that opportunity as well. And another exciting thing for you cat lovers, we've just launched a program called Kitty Coworker. So if you are in an office situation, a retail business where you could have a cat foster, we are looking for businesses that are willing to help us find homes and get more eyes on the cats that need homes, and it's a wonderful way to give back to the Humane Society. It gets a cat out of the shelter, which makes room for another cat, and you get to spend a little bit of time with one of our furry friends, so it's another great way to give back to the Humane Society. So if you know of anybody who has a business that might make sense for, you can send it my way. Thank you so much.
First off, I want to say, if you haven't been to the Humane Society for the dogs or the cats, go time, walk around, look at them. I'm thinking just right off the top of my head, a great mascot for the library board as she walks out the door. Anyhow, other ones that have a group, this would be a great mascot for your group, I think. So remember that as you're leaving.
And don't forget the dog park.
I forgot. The dog park. What a social gathering. Go down there. Have big dogs and small dog parks, and they're really a nice place to go. I take mine all the time. Thank you very much.
Next, we have a certificate of recognition for Oceanside Police Officer Brandon Heathman. Officer Heathman, would you please come forward? And Stephanie, please come forward. Chief Frank McCoy, please come forward. Captain Fred Armijo, please come forward. And Lieutenant Leonard Cosby, please come forward. On December 16th, 2014, Oceanside police officers received a radio call for a possible apartment fire at 3950 Waring Road, number 248. Dispatch advised that a woman, later identified as Shalane Barry Williams, was screaming for help in the apartment and there was smoke seen coming from the building. She was trapped in a bedroom with her 3-year-old son. Neighbors Marco and Jonathan Alvarez heard the screams, went to check on Miss Williams, and found her straddling the windowsill of her second-story apartment, holding her 3-year-old son outside of the window to keep him away from the smoke that was now billowing from the building. Marco and Jonathan helped them to safety and soon learned that 2 occupants were still inside the apartment. Running back upstairs, they broke down the door of the unit trying to locate the subjects, but were unable to do so because of the thick smoke. At this time, Officer Brennan Heathman arrived and entered the apartment, knowingly risking his own life to do so. Inside, he found a 62-year-old unconscious female in a nearby bedroom. He dragged her to the door and was overcome by smoke.
At this point, Officer Heathman handed his flashlight to Jonathan, who crawled back inside on his hands and knees and found an unconscious 53-year-old male in a back bedroom. He called out to Officer Heathman, who entered the apartment again to assist Jonathan with bringing out the male victim. Words are not adequate enough to express our gratitude to these brave men for risking their lives to save these individuals. If it were not for them, the outcome of this emergency could have had very different results. Although Marco and Jonathan declined recognition this evening, I invite you to stand with me as we salute one of our own, our finest, Oceanside Police Officer Brandon Heathman.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Mr. Mayor, thank you very much. Obviously, it's an honor that you're recognizing Officer Heathman for the job that he did. He's obviously a hero, just a fine example of the Oceanside Police Department, what we have there at our organization, and the caliber of employees that we have. Very, very proud of this young man. Did an outstanding job.
Thank you, Mayor and Chief. I would just like to echo Chief McCoy's words. We're very proud of Brandon's efforts in this regard, and there's no doubt that there's some folks alive and breathing today, but for his efforts that night. We're very proud of him. Thank you, Brandon.
Right above the captain and the chief, and I took it out of order, the big boss. Say something about your husband.
I've probably said about 1 billion times in the last 30 or 40 days how proud of my husband I am, and I'm not going to say too much more than that because I might cry, so I love you and I'm proud.
Larry.
Brandon worked for me when he first came to the department, and Brandon, I just want you to know, you exemplify the engraving on one of the memorial stones at the Peace Officers Memorial. And that is, it's not how these officers died, it's how they lived that matters.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have this there because we're very proud of them. Our public safety, we're introducing somebody from the police department. We've had some here from the fire department. We can't do all of them because that's what they do all the time. This seems to be a standout saving somebody's life. The fire department, police department do it every day, and it's our honor to bring somebody in front of the city of Oceanside on TV and say, thank you for what you did for these people and the city of Oceanside. We want to give you a plaque to say thank you and have all your people here. The most important one, having your wife here, of course, is the big one, the big boss. But from the city council and I, thank you. God bless you, what you've done for these people. And let's hear it again, ladies and gentlemen, for a hero.
Thank you very much. It's an honor to be up here and serve my department. I've been with the Oceanside Police Department for about 7 years, and I look forward to the next 13. Thank you very much.
Tighten it up for a photo. Tighten it up. See if you want to get... Item number 17 with Kathy.
This time Kathy Eichel may come forward.
What kind of tree is it?
Gotta straighten them out, Kathy. Haven't been here before, I know. The other left.
Thank
Kathy.
you. Hi. Honorable Mayor, council members, city staff, viewing public and attendees, my name is Kathy Nykel. I'm from Main Street, Oceanside. I handle the Sunset Market and the parade. And what a great thing to bring up right after the award. We have Public Safety Night. This is an annual event. It will be held tomorrow night. I'm amazed at what's coming down. Our fire department will be there with both an ambulance and an actual fire truck. Lifeguards will be there with their static display, their truck, their vehicles. And then, of course, the police department is coming down with the brand new Nissan fabulous car, the command center, the marine boat, the beach vehicle. I could go on and on and on, but static displays every year it gets bigger and better. A great time for our community to find out not just who is part of the public safety team, but how they can also become safer at home, work, and at play, or become part of the safety team, response team within our own city. So that's tomorrow night from 5 to 8 p.m. And then throughout February, Oceanside Photo and Telescope will be holding astronomy nights as long as the weather permits. They bring down telescopes. They'll be in the children's area. And then we had an event last week that I just wanted to thank several individuals for. We had our first authors night. We had assistance from Christy at the chamber, Jenelise and Christine from the library, and of course the authors themselves. We had about a dozen authors. Great turnout, nice variety of authors and literary work, so that was fabulous. Then we have our next event, which is actually the day after tomorrow on Friday. And that is always the very first Friday of the month. Art Walk from 6 to 9 p.m. with over 19 businesses participating. There will be live art music. And this particular month, the theme is Love is on the Rocks. So we have several different artists that are out this week. Again, 6 to 9 p.m. this very Friday. And then I also want to make the announcement, we are preparing for our Oceanside Independence Day Parade. As I announced last time, Coach Carroll will be our Grand Marshal this year. The theme is Legends and Legacies. Our website and applications will be updated and ready to go out by the middle of this month. That's oceansideparade.com. And of course, all the information is on our website, mainstreetoceanside.com, or you can visit us in the downtown at 701 Mission Avenue or call us at 760-754-4512. So we hope to see you in the downtown, and if you have any questions, just come find me. Thank you.
Thank you, Kathy. Other public?
Yeah, next is Shelley Caron.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. My name is Shelley Hayes Crone. I reside in Marone Adobe in the Buena Vista Creek Valley. And the reason why I would like to speak tonight is I would like to ask a question. I know that on the general plan you have infrastructure going to be reviewed, and I have concerns about the sewer system in the Buena Vista Creek. There is some development going to occur in the valley with Carlsbad. They will be enhancing their Carlsbad Vista line, but the Oceanside line, as you know, is very old. And 2 years or 3 years ago, they did a replacement. The line was in the creek, it was exposed, there was a spill, and they moved it 30 feet out onto the roadway. The easement road that was initially issued for that sewer line isn't usable because the creek has now shifted its course, and you have to drive on the state property in order to access your manholes. Carrie Dale
left the city, and I had asked to have a meeting with her regarding this. The camera review that you do on the sewer line and the other maintenance. The sewer manholes now, the road is not very maintained, and the access to those manholes isn't very accessible, and the service road is not very drivable. So because I live there and I see the activities and the weather and everything on a daily basis, I am concerned that this doesn't become an issue like it did before, with the city having to pay for another spill. So I'd like to...
Shelley, I don't want to interrupt you, but we have our water director just walked in, and if you stay there, we'll send him over to answer your questions or get information from you, okay?
Great.
And Harry's no longer with us, I know that, but Jason will come over. Jason, would you talk to Shelley Crown over there for a second? Thank you.
Thank you.
And I'll let our city clerk get the mic from you, and that way you won't be on broadcasting and you have a conversation.
No further public on that item.
Nothing else on that? I thank you with that. My last thing for all of you is we're going to adjourn this council meeting to a mayor council workshop at 11:30 a.m. Wednesday, February the 11th. That's right here in the council chamber. Go ahead.
Did you want to do a moment of silence for Jerry Sawyer?
I didn't hear it.
Do you want to do a moment of silence for Jerry Sawyer?
Yes, we can, but I forgot you're going to handle her. We'll go to that. Other than that's the last thing I had, and we'll go for a moment of silence for one of my best friends, Jerry Sawyer, who passed away the other day, and from a long fight of cancer, and he just seemed to go very active in the community, former president of the Chamber of Commerce, Jerry Sawyer, and his lovely wife. Thank you. That's all. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate your time on that one. Thank you. Good night. Be safe.